Okay, so 20-something wrote me, he makes six figures, but is depressed and even considering self-harm. So I'm going to read the letter and respond. So, hey, Ori, first of all, thanks for the info you put out. They're really great. This isn't really a sales question, but more of a general life one. I'm 28. I have an annual income of $160,000. Savings plus investments, $150,000. Have a side business that's losing $3,000 a month. Slowly but surely heading towards break even. Current monthly revenue is 10K. I came from a very poor family, so I'm doing all right so far, but there are days when I feel like a total loser and a waste of space, especially when I see others my age buying cars and houses doing well. It's not to the point of self-harm yet, but I do think about it from time to time. Just wanted to know if this has happened before and how do you handle it? So this is more common than you think. So I spoke to a very successful white collar friend recently, made well over $4 or $5 million in the last few years, crashed out and lost everything in very large part because of mental and physical health. I know deca millionaires with constant anxiety and stomach ulcers. And it's one of those things where we think money is going to solve our problems, but usually it doesn't happen. So one of the books that I read a few weeks ago was Sahil Bloom, like 5 rules for money. I can't remember exactly. But in the book, he's like, everybody wants 2 to 5 times what they have. So if you ask somebody with $10 million, they're like, I would feel comfortable with $30 million. If you ask someone with $20 million, I'd really like to have $100,000. So why does everybody want 2 to 5 times what they have? This is rooted in loss aversion. So making $1 feels as good as losing $3 feels bad. So what's going on is you're afraid of losing all of your money. So your brain is like, we need to make 3 times as much. And it almost doesn't matter how much you have. Your brain is hardwired to do this. This is especially true if you come from a low income background. I was listening to an interview with Sophia Loren a few years ago, and she says, if you've ever been poor, you never really lose the fear that it's going to happen to you again. It's just part of human nature. I still have it. My wife doesn't have it because she didn't have that experience. But if you've ever really struggled, you're always like, it could happen again. So what I think is going on is loss aversion combined with your background and comparing yourself to other people is the cause of a lot of your stress. So I'm going to tell you what to do for both. And I suspect a feeling of disconnection or poor relationship with body and health should also be addressed. So here's like what stood out for me. If your business is losing, your side hustle is losing $3,000 a month, that's $36,000 a year. If you're making $160,000 and you're taking home $110,000, that's a little under 33% of your net income. So your business right now, your side hustle, is losing a third of the money that you actually make and get to keep. Now, on paper, you're doing pretty well, but you know what I'm going to say? Your brain is driving you crazy because it feels psychologically like you're not making any money. So my advice would be to get out of this current business. If you can't make it cash flow positive, $10,000 a month revenue is a lot to dump into a business that is costing you $3,000 a month. You want to save that for your beautiful wife who wants to open a Pilates studio that's losing money. You don't want to be your own wife, right? So if you can't make it cash flow positive within 3 months, and either start a service-based business with low costs, just relax, bartend, work overtime, do something else for a year. It won't kill you. You need something stress-free. The ancient Greeks have a story on flexing. So Croesus, who was the richest man or one of the richest people, asks Solon, who was the wisest man, he's like, who's the happiest of men? And Solon is like, well, there are these 2 brothers who worked hard to get their mother to a religious festival. They fell asleep. They didn't wake up. Those guys are the happiest. So the rich guy is like, well, who's the second happiest? So the point is, flexing, you can't really tell. Think about Princess Diana. Like every woman, when she got married to Prince Charles, wanted to be Princess Diana. Every woman wanted to become a princess. Every woman wanted to be Grace Kelly. But Princess Diana and Grace Kelly were deeply depressed. They were trapped in a life they couldn't get out of. They died relatively young, and their only real outlet was philanthropy. So no woman who has a history book wants that life. It's silly to compare yourself to others too much. Once you get to a certain point, like top 10%, top 5%, it's okay to be less competitive. There's actually usually a higher ROI in making friends anyway. So I feel like you know, it's okay to flex a little bit, especially if people treated you badly or stuff like that. But I would just get over it. I would get into your body. I would join a community, maybe boxing, maybe yoga, calisthenics, running. Find people who are probably less financially successful than you, but in better shape than you. It'll put a lot of things into perspective. There's a lot of really rich people out there that would give $10 million to do a one-arm push-up or run a mile in less than 7 minutes. So a lot of the other thing that I want to tell you is you're closer than you think. A lot of the stress goes away when you can live off of 10% or less of your liquid net worth. So like if you grind for 18 months, just knowing that, hey, I can move to Thailand, I can live on $2,000, $3,000 a month, I have $30,000 liquid, I'm good. Like that makes life a lot easier. And don't be stressed out when you see other people buying cars and stuff, because you don't know what's going on in their lives. There could be a relative with cancer. You don't know. There's a million things that could go on. I've also met a lot of guys from X in real life. You would be shocked by some of their financial situations compared to how they present themselves. So you're not alone. Also, the ancient Greeks and philosophers in general have dealt with these kinds of hard questions. You have thousands of years of the best minds who can give you insights. I would specifically recommend, this is where I got the Cretius and Solon story from, Great Ideas of Philosophy, 2nd edition. Download the audiobook. You can read Psychology of Money and books like that too. But the ancient Greeks really grappled with these issues in a way that is really pure. They're not trying to sell you anything. They really do have nothing to sell you. So I'm gonna post a picture of the audiobook like under this post. But anyway, I wish you the best. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are dealing with similar things. You're on social media, you're doom scrolling all day. It's not real life. You're doing great.